Welcome to The Secret of the Digital Empire. Today, we're going to challenge a common perception. While Google's growth is nothing short of phenomenal, we'll uncover why its very dominance might be the biggest victory for its rivals. The question we'll explore throughout this presentation is profound. When Google truly dominates, who actually profits? As you can see, we'll be looking at how Google's success impacts not just itself, but also giants like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. Let's start by addressing the illusion of competition. Many assume the tech world is a zero-sum game, where giants must actively kill each other to capture market share. This belief often fuels narratives of direct, head-to-head battles for dominance. However, our reality points to a positive-sum ecosystem. In this environment, the expansion of one giant doesn't diminish the others. Instead, it forces the exponential growth of its peers, creating a cycle of mutual, albeit indirect, benefit. At the heart of this ecosystem is Google, acting as the ultimate catalyst. Consider step 1, the input. Through platforms like YouTube and search, Google effectively captures a near monopoly on global human attention. This isn't just about traffic, it's about engagement. Step 2, the output, then naturally follows. This massive capture of attention generates an exponentially growing, impossibly large dataset, an unending stream of raw user-generated information. And this leads us to step 3, the catalyst itself. Google's cutting-edge Gemini AI absolutely requires this precise type of data to evolve, to learn, and to improve. This continuous demand for data, fueled by AI, triggers the next massive industrial requirement, which we'll explore next. This brings us to our first Symbiosis engine, the compute boom. The ultimate beneficiary here is clearly Nvidia. The synergy is powerful. Google's Gemini AI, combined with the immense YouTube data, creates a massive compute requirement. This, in turn, drives exponential hardware demand. Every time Google pushes the boundaries of Gemini, forcing it to learn and expand, they are compelled to invest in tens of thousands of advanced chips, like Nvidia's H100s. Google's relentless AI expansion doesn't just ensure its own progress, it directly guarantees the explosive revenue growth of the semiconductor and data center infrastructure empires, with Nvidia leading the charge. Our second Symbiosis engine is about paving the digital highway. Think of Google search and YouTube ads as the primary traffic drivers. They bring billions of consumers into the digital world every single day, effectively paving the roads of the internet. But for businesses to sell to these consumers, they need somewhere to build their digital shops. This is where Microsoft Azure, Office 365, and AWS come in, providing the essential infrastructure for business operations. Google paves the roads, yes, but companies like Amazon and Microsoft own the commercial real estate, where all these transactions actually happen. This constant flow of consumer traffic directly guarantees robust enterprise cloud revenue for these infrastructure providers. The third Symbiosis engine creates the standardization moat. Consider how Google's universal accounts and Android set critical standards. When Google standardizes how video works online or how search functions, developers across the globe build their applications and services entirely around those established rules. This widespread standardization, paradoxically, makes Apple's mobile hardware ecosystem even richer and makes Microsoft's desktop environments even stickier. The cumulative result is an invisible, shared moat that blocks outside disruption and effectively locks in the existing major players, creating a stable, interconnected environment for all. This big tech ecosystem matrix visually summarizes our findings. We can categorize the key functions: consumer access and attention, enterprise and cloud infrastructure, and hardware and compute base. When we map Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, and Nvidia against these functions, a clear pattern emerges. These companies do not merely compete, they own distinct, yet mutually reinforcing layers of the very same technological supply chain. Their success is intertwined, creating a resilient and continuously expanding digital economy. Let's debunk a pervasive myth and embrace the reality of expanding the digital dollar territory. The myth suggests that Google's success comes at the expense of others, eating into Microsoft's slice of the pie, for example. However, the reality is far more optimistic. By relentlessly advancing AI and search capabilities, Google isn't just taking a bigger piece of the existing pie, they are expanding the total size of the digital economy itself. The entire territory of the digital dollar grows wider for everyone involved. Google, Nvidia, Amazon, Microsoft, and many more, creating new opportunities for market growth. This brings us to an actionable strategy: sleep on the shoulders of giants. We distinguish between stock picking, which is essentially betting on who wins a specific battle and carries high risk, and systemic investing, which involves buying into the entire underlying infrastructure of the digital age, leading to significant wealth creation. For your long-term retirement accounts, such as 401ks, our tip is to utilize broad big tech ETFs, or the Nasdaq 100. While individual companies will always experience volatility, the interconnected system itself, as we've demonstrated, is structurally sound and continues its robust growth. In essence, our core message is to own the system, not the stock. Stop focusing on the superficial fights and rivalries between individual corporations. Instead, look at the incredibly powerful and resilient system they are collectively building together. Becoming a shareholder of that overarching system, not just an individual stock, is arguably the fastest shortcut to achieving early retirement. This is the Moneycopy replicating the wealth map. If this perspective has shifted your understanding of the digital empire, we invite you to subscribe and join us for our next deep dive into these fascinating insights.